Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that has sparked curiosity, debate, and deep reflection for centuries. The Mark of the Beast. This is a concept from the book of Revelation, and it's one of the most discussed subjects in biblical prophecy. What is it? What does it symbolize? And most importantly, what are the implications of accepting it? We're going to explore these questions together, looking at the scriptural context and what it means for us today. This isn't about fear. It's about understanding, so let's get into it. First, let's go straight to the source. The primary mention of the mark of the beast comes from the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verses 16 through 18. It says, "It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark which is the name of the beast, or the number of its name. Its number is 666. Now, this passage describes a future time when a global power, referred to as the beast, will implement a system that controls all commerce. To participate in this system, to buy groceries, pay bills, hold a job, a person must accept this mark. The mark is placed either on the right hand or the forehead. This isn't just a simple ID card. The text portrays it as something deeply significant. It's a universal requirement, affecting everyone regardless of their social or economic status. The inability to buy or sell without it highlights a total dependence on this system for survival. So what does it mean to accept this mark? The Bible presents it as more than just a financial transaction. It's a conscious choice, an act of allegiance. By taking the mark, a person is essentially aligning themselves with the beast and the system it represents, a system that stands in direct opposition to God. In Revelation 14, an angel warns in the strongest possible terms against this, saying anyone who worships the beast and its image and receives its mark will face divine judgment. This tells us the mark is fundamentally a spiritual issue. It's about where your loyalty lies, with God or with a worldly system that demands ultimate authority. Throughout history, people have tried to guess what the mark might be in a literal sense. Some thought it could be a tattoo, a brand, or a special coin. In our modern age, with the rise of technology, speculation has turned to things like microchip implants, RFID tags, or even digital currencies and biometric data. It's easy to see how a cashless society, where all transactions are tracked digitally, could fit the description of a system where buying and selling are centrally controlled. Imagine a world where your access to your bank account, your ability to purchase food, and your freedom to travel are all tied to a single scannable identifier. It sounds like science fiction, but the technological foundations are certainly becoming more visible. However, it's crucial to understand that focusing solely on the specific technology might miss the larger point. The core of the issue isn't the technology itself, but the allegiance it represents. The Bible emphasizes the act of worship associated with the beast. Accepting the mark is an outward sign of an inward decision to pledge loyalty to this anti-God system. The hand and the forehead are also symbolic. The hand often represents our actions and what we do, while the forehead represents our thoughts and what we believe. So, taking the mark on the hand or forehead could symbolize a person dedicating both their actions and their beliefs to the beast's system. So what are the consequences of saying yes? According to the book of Revelation, the consequences are severe and eternal. Revelation 14:9-11 describes those who take the mark as drinking from the high cup of God's wrath. It speaks of eternal separation from God. This is the ultimate cost. It's not just about temporary hardship on earth. It's about a permanent spiritual state. This is why the warning is so stark. The choice is presented as having ultimate, irreversible consequences for a person's soul. In this biblical narrative, accepting the mark means forfeiting one's relationship with God and siding with the forces of rebellion against Him. On the other hand, what about those who say no? The Bible is very clear about this as well. Refusing the mark will lead to extreme hardship in the world. As the text says, they will not be able to buy or sell. This implies being shut out of society, facing persecution, and possibly even starvation or martyrdom. Revelation 24 speaks of seeing the souls of those who were beheaded because of their testimony for Jesus, and because they had not worshipped the beast or its image, and had not received its mark on their foreheads or on their hands. They chose faithfulness to God over physical survival and worldly comfort. But their story doesn't end there. The passage continues by saying that they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. This is the promise for those who refuse the mark. While they may suffer immensely on earth, their ultimate reward is eternal life and communion with God. Their refusal is an act of ultimate faith, demonstrating that their trust is not in a worldly system, but in God alone. They value their spiritual allegiance more than their physical lives. This entire concept forces us to think about our own lives today. While we may not be facing a literal mark of the beast scenario right now, the underlying principles are incredibly relevant. We are constantly faced with choices that test our values and our faith. The pressures to conform to worldly systems, to prioritize financial security over moral integrity, or to compromise our beliefs for the sake of convenience are all around us. In a way, every day presents us with small tests of allegiance. Do we put our trust in God or do we put our trust in the systems of the world? The story of the mark is a powerful call to examine what we truly worship. Is it God, or is it security, comfort, and acceptance by the world? It encourages a faith that is resilient and unshakable, one that is prepared to endure hardship for the sake of what is eternally true. It's a reminder that our true identity is not found in our bank account or our social status, but in our relationship with our Creator. The Bible's message is that true life, true security, and true freedom are found only in Him. This isn't meant to be a scary story, but a call to spiritual awareness and preparation. It's about strengthening our faith now, so that no matter what challenges we face in the future, whether they're economic, social, or personal, our foundation is secure. It's about cultivating a heart that loves God above all else. This way, the choice, if it ever comes, will be clear. It's about living a life of allegiance to God today, in the small things, so that we are prepared for the big things. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this deep and important topic. It's a lot to think about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What does this passage mean to you? If you found this discussion valuable, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Stay curious, stay faithful, and I'll see you in the next video.